Don't you just hate it whenever you've been waiting what feels like years, and in some cases is years, for a game to come out, just to either eventually have a whole console generation happen and you don't get shit, or get announced and it gets canceled or delayed indefinitely, which ultimately then gets canceled. Take me for example, BanjoConker, two of my favorite game franchises from my favorite game developer ever. We haven't had a fucking Banjo game since 2008, 12 years ago, and the world was pretty much traumatized because there hasn't been a game since. Fuck, we really need a new entry in both of those franchises. So then I got to thinking, which is not something I do a lot, I should make a fucking video on games that I really want to happen this upcoming Xbox Series X, PS5, and continuation of Nintendo Switch generation. Nintendo kind of fucked it up their whole generation by releasing the Nintendo Switch mid 8th generation, so that kind of fucks up the entire generation system, at least in my eyes. So without further ado, let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's start off. And just a quick note, this isn't in any particular order. This is like, I want all of these games to come out, so it's not going from least to best, best to least, most to least wanted. No, I'm just gonna fucking put them on the video the same way I listed them on my list. So don't feel bad if a game you actually want to see is the first one because you might think it's the least one. No, I want all of these games to come out equally. So if you give me shit, well, that means you didn't watch the entire intro and you just started watching right now. Now I'm starting off with probably the only Nintendo Switch game on my list. Now FZero is a really fun fucking game. If you haven't played any of the FZero games, I feel sorry for you. Imagine Mario Kart on meth, multiplied by crack, to the power of the drug epidemic in the 80s. That was a shitty fucking equation I just gave you, but it's balls to the wall. Like it's fucking awesome. Now, why am I bringing up FZero? Me being an Xbox gamer and all? Well, because it's actually a game that I played when I was a kid. In fact, I think a while back, a few videos back, actually, I think it's about a year now, that I said that this is one of my most favorite video game franchises ever. It's fun. The soundtrack for at least the game that I played, the N64 version, was the shit. Especially Mute City's theme, which is probably the only theme I remember. So yeah. Now the last game we got from FZero was GameCube, we 3 generations ago. So yeah. Will this game ever happen? I doubt it. Nintendo hasn't really been paying attention to this franchise as much as they should have. I don't know how much the last one, FZero GX on the GameCube, made, so I really don't know if that was a factor in why they stopped making it. I mean, they obviously care some about the game, considering that one of the like Mute City itself was a track on Mario Kart 8, but that's pretty much it. That, and other than adding a Captain Falcon skin, excuse me, as for your Mii character, that's all that they've cared about for this game. So will it happen? Probably not, but still, I mean, FZero is the shit. Go play the old ones if you haven't. They're really good. Now, I honestly debated whether to add this on my list or not, and mainly because the details I'm about to give you kind of sound like a messy divorce. Okay, to put it in a more recent perspective, the details I'm about to give you, it's kind of like the Sony and Disney divorce settlement for Spider-Man. If you don't see why, I'll fucking explain. Sunset Overdrive is a game developed by Insomniac Games, and they own the IP. Makes sense, right? Okay, so far so good. Insomniac was purchased by Sony. Therefore, Sunset Overdrive now belongs to Sony. Still good, right? The problem is, Microsoft owns the publishing rights to Sunset Overdrive. Meaning, One side can't make the fucking game without the other saying yes. And that's where it gets more convoluted than Kingdom Hearts 3 and Saw put together. Actually, no, not really. It's all a matter of money, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it more than likely isn't happening. And if it will happen, it probably will happen on Xbox, considering that Sony really wants Insomniac to only work on Spider-Man and possibly Ratchet and Clank and what the fuck was that alien game? Resistance, there we go. I doubt they want them to work on Sunset Overdrive 2. If they do, well, good on PS5 players. But I really do want Sunset Overdrive 2 to happen. I really enjoyed the first game, even though it didn't get as much attention as it should have. Do I blame the rocky, disastrous launch of the Xbox One? Not completely. It was also sandwiched in, I think, in October when like the biggest games of the year come out. So factor in with how shitty the Xbox One launch was, that game was destined to fail. Now, Brutal Legend 2. I'm not going to go too much into this because I have a few videos back. I'll link it down below. I actually talked about how it was a possibility that it could already come this next generation, considering Microsoft owns the IP now that they bought Double Fine, which developed the game back 11 years ago, and it was published by EA. Now, they got lucky and they kept the IP for themselves. So, yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. Now, do I think it will happen? Who knows? Like I said a while back, Xbox really does shit out of left field that you really can't predict. They're like the Deadpool of video games. Like, they do shit that doesn't make sense sometimes. I would really love to see the sequel to this game. The first one was awesome. I really don't know how they're going to top it. But, I mean, will it be Eddie Riggs again? I feel that it shouldn't. Like, I feel his story was wrapped up nice in the ending of Brutal Legend 1. But they could also add a different mechanic to the game, like a companion or a co-op or something. Like I don't know. I do really want to see a sequel to this game, but it probably won't happen. I mean, it would be stupid if Microsoft doesn't make a sequel to this game. Like, they fucking purchased Double Fine for a reason. Then they have enough capital to make fucking Brutal Legend 2. Tim Schafer has said it himself. He needs a big publisher. Motherfucker, you are owned by one of the biggest publishers around. Another one, which I'm not really going to go too deep into because I already spoke about it a while back, a few videos back actually. Sly Cooper reboot or remake or maybe a remaster of the original, because that's what Sony does a lot. Like, that's what they did a lot in this fucking generation. The Last of Us remastered, the Nathan Drake collection, the Last Guardian, the first one, I forget the name. Something about the Colossus. Did they do God of War remaster? I don't know. I think they did. I think they only did 3 for PS4, but I'm pretty sure they did more remasters. That's only 4 that I could think of because those are the biggest ones. Will they continue remastering on to next generation? Probably. Probably. And I feel that Sly Cooper is one that deserves either a remaster, a remake, or a reboot. Probably all 3 are gonna happen. Sly Cooper being one of Sony's first mascots, like, it's a big deal. Like, yeah, one of the original mascots was Crash Bandicoot, but he's owned by, como se dice, Activision now. So he's no longer a Sony mascot. He's now much more of an Activision mascot. So officially, Sly Cooper is, I think, the second one, because Sweet Tooth for Twisted Metal came out before Sly Cooper, so officially he's the second one, but he's still an OG. And you can't disrespect an OG like that. Even me, an Xbox guy, is saying that. BanjoConker. When are you fuckers coming back? Like, I really, like, I seriously motherfucking mean it when I say that I really want games from these franchises. They're nostalgic to me. Not just to me, to millions of people. And also, you kind of want more variety for Xbox. Now, you might say, what the fuck are you talking about? if you think about it, most games that came out for this generation for Xbox alone, or yeah, well, for Xbox because Xbox exclusive, are, I think only 2 or 3 I can think of are rated E. Super Lucky's Tale, which I never played, Ori, and Sea of Thieves. There's probably more. I just, like, those are the ones that literally just popped into my mind right now. And Banjo and Conker. Well, fuck no, not Conker. Now that I think about it, not Conker, unless they really want to take it back to how it was supposed to originally come out as a rated E game. Then it turned into they just M it all up and make that motherfucker vulgar as shit. But with Banjo, I mean, they can make maybe a T-rated game, but I doubt they will. All I'm saying is, they got a lot of mature games. It might be nice to have at least 1 or 2 family-orientated games for the kids, because nowadays, fucking parents let their kids play with the game just so they won't fucking take care of them. What kind of shit is that? Now, I know for certain that there was probably maybe a 3rd one gonna be made for this franchise, but it was canceled or delayed indefinitely, which will pretty much become canceled sooner or later, for Deus Ex. Now, how do I know it was probably canceled? Because the second one didn't sell as good as Square Enix thought they wanted to. Was it a good game? Yes it was, in my opinion. I bought the digital deluxe chingadera. It comes with all DLC. I forget which one it's called, but I paid like $80 for it, and I think it was worth it. But in my opinion, I feel that Square Enix hasn't been paying attention to IDOS as much as they should have. They should just let them go like they let go IO Interactive. Like, they really should. They're just really focusing, and I know why, it's a business after all. But come on, like, Deus Ex has a lot of fans. A lot of fucking fans. And they're just, chinga su madre, we're not going to make another Deus Ex because the last one didn't sell well. Again, I know, it's a business at the end of the day, but still. You're just basically getting your fans, turning them around, bending them over, pulling their pants down, fucking them without lube. That's a dick move, Square Enix. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are making another Deus Ex game for next generation, and maybe it will look fucking awesome. Who knows? I really want another one. Mainly because the second one, the last one, Mankind Divided, left my dick hard and it didn't give me a happy ending. It really fucking sequel baited me. You know, when I said in the beginning that I wanted all of these games to come out equally, well, I kind of lied. This is a game that I really want to come out the most. So go ahead, call me a fucking liar. I don't care. Like, yes, I lie. This is the game that I really want to come out the most. It's amazing how this game became one of my most favorite games of this generation and possibly of all time in just a little over 2 years. But Killer Instinct, holy shit. Killer Instinct has the potential of becoming one of the best exclusives next generation for Xbox. It easily became one of the best exclusives this generation, but a mixture of no marketing, a shitty Xbox launch, and basically only word of mouth marketing kind of almost killed the game entirely. And not just that. After season 1 ended, the original developer, Double Helix, was bought out by Microsoft. So you kind of thought Killer Instinct was fucked, but it somehow miraculously survived, and it moved on to Iron Galaxy to be developed, and they did a good enough, if not a better job than Double Helix continuing the game. Now it's been 2 or 3 years since the last update for Killer Instinct 3, which I'm going to call it for the sake of argument. There was rumors that a season 4 was coming and that Joanna Dark was going to be a playable character, but if it was true, it was just canceled, and the Killer Instinct internal Xbox team just went off and is working on another project. So for all we know, they're not planning another Killer Instinct, which is a stupid decision considering that Microsoft doesn't really have a definitive exclusive fighting game. This generation, PS4 had an exclusive one with Street Fighter V, even though it was on PC, but when it came to consoles, it was only on Xbox, on PlayStation. And of course Nintendo with the Super Smash Bros. So yeah, it's a stupid decision if Microsoft does not make Killer Instinct 4 or Killer Instinct 2 rebooted, whatever you want to call it. Do I think it's gonna happen? Yes, I do. Do I want it to happen? Well, fuck yes. It wouldn't be on this list if I didn't. Now, somewhere along the line, down the line, I'm gonna make a video on which guest characters I want for that game. So stay tuned for that video. But for now, we're just gonna have to wait. And hopefully Killer Instinct probably will be revealed in the rumored Xbox event that's happening either in May or in June. Probably won't, but I still always love to theorize. And with all that being said, I hope you fuckers like, comment, and sub, and tell me what actually games you want to see this generation, upcoming generation, and do you agree with any of mine? If so, let me know in the comments. And yeah, that'll be all, and I'll see you fuckers later.